One more game to round out 2022, and it's a good one. It's the Gonzaga Bulldogs taking over the Bluff as they get set for a good one against the LMU Lions, poised for an upset against the number 19 team in the nation. Welcome inside Gersten Pavilion, sitting courtside. Brendan and Gary Craig here. One last day in 2022, and maybe one last chance for a big upset here today, Gary.
Yeah, this is a big game for the Lions. They need to see what they can do against, the measuring stick in the conference, the Gonzaga Bulldogs.
And this team is short, bench-wise, but still absolutely dominant this season.
Yeah, I mean, they're 13-2. They've been taking on all comers. They're coming off a strong performance against Pepperdine on Thursday, and I know they're prepared to take this game and get into 2023 with the W.
Let's take a look at today's key players to watch, brought to you by University Credit Union. Starting with the Gonzaga Bulldogs, Kaylin Trong has been absolutely on fire of late.
Kaylin Trong has been incredibly strong. We've seen her for a couple years now, and she's been great, but she's really taken on an additional load this year with some of the folks having left the team. She's coming off a career-high 26 points. She had 6 3-pointers against Pepperdine. She's going to be a load for the Lions to handle.
And on the other side, that load that is going to have to handle it is probably going to be Nicole Rodriguez.
Yeah, I mean, Nicole Rodriguez has been the Lions' defensive stopper. I mean, she will get an assignment to just guard the best player on the other team and handle it. And I think she's up to the task, but she's going to have to play with her, general aggressiveness and enthusiasm. And then on the other end, she's capable of knocking down threes. She had a somewhat off game on Thursday. I look for her to come out strong, let her defense lead to offense.
You talk about the defense and the offense. Let's take a look at the 3 keys to the game brought to you by Ticket Smarter. Gary, what are your keys for this game?
So the first and foremost, box out, right? We talk about rebounding, but the way to get those rebounds, especially a team that has length like the Bulldogs, is to box out. Then when you can take advantage of someone who's taller because they're not in position for the rebound. The next key is, against this Gonzaga Bulldog team, the Lions have to guard the three-point line. They're going to have to close out on shooters. It's going to be tough because they're going to want to prevent offensive rebounds, but they're going to have to get out there and disrupt the three-point shot that the Bulldogs are really strong with. And then finally, for this Lions team, it's playing under control. One of the things we heard Coach Hughes talk about on Thursday's game was the Portland Pilots, got the Lions to sort of speed up and play out of control. This Lions team is at its best when it's pushing the pace, but under control, not forcing things. Fewer turnovers, more effective control of the ball on the offensive end. Those will be the keys for me today's game.
Last game of 2022. It's going to be a fun one. Don't go anywhere. Well, maybe go grab that popcorn, get the candy, buckle those seatbelts. We'll be back in just a moment with some LMU women's basketball. And we welcome you inside Gersten Pavilion here on this New Year's Eve game. Brendan and Gary Craig with you as the Zags of Gonzaga get set to tip it off against the Lions of LMU. Tips away, let's take a look at our starting lineups brought to you by Cedars-Sinai. Starting off for the Gonzaga Bulldogs, it's going to be led by the forward, number 12, Eliza Hollingsworth, as Ari Johnson of the Lions comes up with a steal. She'll stop and get the first bucket for the Lions. Just 15 seconds in. Back to our starting lineups real quick here. Kaylin Trong, the senior out of Houston, Texas, joined by number 15, Yvonne Ejim, number 22, Brenna Maxwell, and number 24, Michaela Williams. Right on cue, Williams fires a 3 from top of the arc. That's batted around. Here come the Lions the other way. Starting off for your Lions is going to be Ari Johnson wearing 32, joined by Nicole Rodriguez wearing number 1. Kari Clark with the shot from the baseline wearing number 34. Cassie Gordon in number 2, and Alexis Mark sporting 35. The Zags working right to left on your screen in the blue row unis with the white numbers. Lions in their reds working left to right as Michaela Williams knocks down a 3 to get things started for the Bulldogs.
So Cassie Gordon gave her some space. The Gonzaga team shoots very well from 3. They're going to have to close out and not allow shooters to get open looks like that.
This is going to be a tough Gonzaga team we talked about in the open. They may have a very, very short bench right now, one of the shortest they've really had in recent time, but it's a very strong team within that core group they have out on the floor.
Well, they've been playing shorthanded most of the season, doing quite well against strong teams. There's Rodriguez to the hole.
Yeah, strong move straight down the lane. Rodriguez gives the lead back to the Lions, 4-3 here early. It's Williams, bounces around, gets it to go, and leads back in the hands of the Bulldogs.
So Williams is a hometown product, Windward High School grad. It's tough to see her playing for another squad.
Right here, near and dear to the LA heart, about 15 minutes north of LMU. Windward High's put out some fantastic players. Kaylin Trong now with the steal. Well, alley-oop, and there's a foul on Johnson, just a push.
So it looked like Rodriguez was open. By the time Johnson threw it to her, Trong had closed out and got the steal.
One of those players that the Zags are without is Kaylee Trong, twin sister Kaylin Trong, as Williams again. First 7 points go to Williams single-handedly here in this game. Kaylee Trong, though, twin sister Kaylin Trong, normally a dynamic duo out on the court. She is out, has been out for some time, and will not play in this game. So it's just Kaylin for the time being.
Thing is, all the Bulldogs are dangerous, right? So Williams right now with a personal 7-point run.
As Hollingsworth comes up with the steal in the key. Zags like to work with pace. It's Ejim now on the run, up and in. That's going to force a very early timeout by Coach Hughes and the Lions. It'll send us to the media timeout. 9-4 early. Michaela Williams has been lighting it up in Gershon. We'll step aside, or we're going to stay here. Again. All right, we'll take a look at our starting lineups brought to you by Cedars-Sinai. Once again, we had starting out for the Bulldogs, number 12, Eliza Hollingsworth, joined by Kaylee Trong, Brenna Maxwell, Michaela Williams, and Yvonne Ejim. Bulldogs led by head coach Lisa Fortier in her 9th season at the helm and had her assistant coaching squad around her for all 9 seasons. Been a fantastic run for her. Take a look at your Lions side on the other side of the court. Starting off for them is going to be Nicole Rodriguez in number 1, Cassie Gordon in number 2, Ari Johnson, Kari Clark, and Alexis Mark. Same 5 we've seen out on the floor a lot of the season for this Lions squad.
Yeah, that's true, but that same squad's going to have to realize that what's happening right now is what happened against Portland. Too many easy shots at the bucket. They're going to need to stop that. It's tough because Williams was hot from the outside, so they're trying to close out. They just have to follow the Gonzaga Bulldogs wherever they go. 9-4, good timeout by Coach Hughes. Just get them, settled in. This is going to be a long game. They just don't want to let it get out of control early.
Absolutely. That's one of the most important things. And here, let's talk about your 3 keys. How have you seen any of those play out here early in these first few minutes?
It is very early. Boxing out, I've seen some of that by the Lions, which is good. The 3-point shooters, obviously, Williams got a bucket from 3. That's just 1. We're not going to worry about it too much. And the play under control, we saw the last couple possessions, Lions were out of control. They had 2 turnovers, and that's going to be a problem for them going forward. Hopefully they can, with this timeout, get themselves situated. Really uncharacteristic for Coach Hughes to call a timeout so early, but I think she's determined to make sure that they play this the right way. They don't want to get down big in the first quarter.
Well, Gonzaga went on a 6-0 run for their last 4 to start things out here. Michaela Williams absolutely lit them up. She'll stay out on the court. We'll see same 5 out there for both squads. It's early here in Gershon. 5-point lead for the Gonzaga Bulldogs. As the Lions look to get some offense going. Had it going early. We'll look to get back in the scoring column on this possession.
Williams' length is definitely something to keep an eye on when she's guarding Johnson.
Jump stop in the key, no good. Ball into the hands of Mark. Back up off the glass and in.
So Cassie Gordon didn't make the shot, but she made all that happen by drawing attention in the middle. That gave Alexis Mark and Kari Clark a chance to get the rebound. Good closeout by Clark on Williams to 9-3.
Almost a takeaway by Clark. It's Williams instead. Almost a travel. Maxwell left wide open on the wing, and she's going to hit it down.
So they're a good 3-point shooting team. I think they're over 40% as a team for the season. They make you pay if you give them up space to shoot on the 3.
Clark in the key is fouled. She'll head to the line.
Good strong move by Kari Clark with the spin. But again, the Lions are shooting 60%, but they're down 6, and that's because Gonzaga Bulldogs are shooting 83%, 5 for 6.
And 2 for 3 from downtown. Williams and Maxwell with a pair.
Something to be a little concerned about is Trong has yet to score. She was their leading scorer against Pepperdine.
Clark's first is good. The Lions send all 4 players back.
A lot of confidence that Clark's going to sink these.
She misses the second.
Lions setting up in a matchup zone.
Great ball movement by the Zags, leaves Eacham down low, and she's fouled.
So Clark, with an attempt to block it, I think got her on the arm.
Take a look at here again.
Yeah, right on the arm. So something to note here is that Gonzaga's free throw shooting is very prolific. 80%, which I think is best in the nation. 80.5%. So when you give them a chance at the line, they're converting, which means they're dangerous everywhere, inside, outside for three, and at the line.
Lions with 2 team fouls in the quarter. Still 6 minutes to go. 3 more fouls, and they'll be at the line each and every time through the rest of the quarter. So Lions got to be careful on the off-ball fouls.
Well, yeah, given how prolific the Zags are from the line, those are just free points.
We've seen the Lions struggle with those at times down low, especially our bigs. Amaya Oliver enters the game for the Lions as that ball is tipped out of bounds off of Trong. It'll stay Lion ball.
Good job.
Clark takes the seat.
Sorry, I was just saying, good job for the Lions being under control and breaking that press, something they struggle with some against Portland.
Gordon drives inside, will kick to Mark. Back outside to Rodriguez now. Oliver trying to gain position down low. Rodriguez with a little check and a little shot, and she'll make it.
Good, strong move. Lions actually playing very well, even though they're down 5.
Maxwell, quick fire.
Well, there's not much you can do about that. If you're in zone defense, you're going to have a little space. Good closeout, just a better shot. I mean, it's really tough when the Lions are facing a team shooting 85.7% so far.
There's a turnover from Mark. And brings some subs into the game for the Zags for the first time tonight. Esther Little enters action, as well as Destiny Burton, wearing number 0 and 1 respectively. Williams takes a seat, as well as Hollingsworth. So for the Lions' sake, it's good to see Williams hit the bench.
Yeah, she started off with those 7 points, and then the other Bulldogs been filling it up since then. On everything. A team as good as the Bulldogs are, you can't give them any advantage. And one of the things we talked about was they're dangerous all over the court, including from the free throw line. You commented on the fact that the Lions already have a couple fouls, and they're in the bonus. Are they in the bonus already? Is that what you said, that the Bulldogs are already in the bonus? Did you say that?
Did I say what?
I was looking at the scoreboard. I was asking if you had said they already have 2 fouls. I wasn't sure.
They do have 2 fouls.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how many fouls they had. On the scoreboard, it had said they were in a bonus. I think it was a glitch as they're resetting the scoreboard.
Yeah, I think we can't trust the scoreboard at the moment.
No.
We'll trust our trusty stats, folks.
My mistake on the reading there. So, again, Lions playing well, but just playing well is not enough. You're going to need to avoid the turnovers. They're going to have to get some stops because they haven't been able to get them yet.
Well, and if you think back to the Portland game, the Lions played well in the first quarter. And that game was only within 3 at the end of the first. The second was where it really went out of control. Right now, Lions down by 8. Tough place for them to be against a team as good as Gonzaga.
Yeah, I mean, look, if I was in the huddle, I'd say, look, Gonzaga's come out really strong. They're not going to shoot like this for the whole game as long as we do what we need to do, right, which is close out on shooters. They're very hot right now, so you got to weather the storm. What you can control is what you do on the offensive end, which is not turning the ball over. Okay, that's where there's a trouble. So when the Lions are able to move their offense and not turn over, they're scoring, right? 4 or 6. But the problem comes when they give up turnovers.
That's been a problem for them all season, turning the ball over. We talk about it. Thing that got ahead of the Lions in that Portland game was the pace of the game. Right now they seem to have it under control, but it really has been something that they've struggled with all season. They want to work with pace, they want to work in transition, but when the other team is the one speeding you up, that's not the game they want to play.
Yeah, you're right. Something that just jumped out at me looking at the stats, if it's correct, the Zags have 5 assists already. The Lions have no assists. So the Lions are doing it all on their own, but they've been effective at it. Here's still looks like they're trying to deal with the replay system.
Still getting that replay system rebooted. And they probably need to actually look at the time to see what time. I'm not sure if the clock stopped exactly when the power went out, but they probably need to take a look and see what time that went out at.
Good news here is that it was a very brief outage, right? So, we don't have a prolonged period of time trying to get the power back on. So that came back on. One of the things this does for the Lions is it gives them a chance to sort of reset. right? They're down 8. They need to get some stops. They need to control their offensive play, limit the turnovers, and this gives Coach Hughes a chance to settle them down.
Nothing like a little fun to end the year, right? Got to go out with a bang.
Yeah, that gives a whole new meaning to going out with a bang.
All right, horn sounds. We're going to get rolling again. Clock at 5:03. Cross your fingers. We'll keep the lights on for the next 2 hours. All righty, same 10 on the court. Ejim with a pull-up 2. That goes off front iron. Rebound by Burton. She'll go up strong and get the and one.
So what are my problems there, Brent? No boxing out, gave a second chance opportunity, and then compounding it with a foul that puts a very good free throw shooting team back at the line. Chance to extend the lead to 11.
That's certainly not the way that Coach wanted to come out of the timeout. It'll bring Destiny Samuel into the game. Alexis Mark will take a seat. She's got 1 foul, 3rd team foul, though, and that's big. Again, with an 80% free throw shooting team, to already be at 3 fouls here with just under 5 minutes left to go in the quarter, Lions could have some trouble. Burton misses that free throw. Samuel unable to save it, and it's going to stay Gonzaga ball.
So this is the thing that's tough for the Lions. Everything going the Bulldogs' way, and that gives the Lions a really tough hill to climb down 10 already.
Kaylin Trunk sets up the offense and instead fires away and hits. Goodness.
Yeah, when it rains, it pours, and I think that's what's happening to the Lions right now.
22-9, the Bulldogs absolutely pouring it on. And we have an issue with the shot clock. It did not start. So they're going to restart play. Adjust that shot clock.
One of the things I noticed was just how quickly the Zags get their shots off, right? Trong did it. Maxwell did it. They're just very effective.
22 on the shot clock now. Still not rolling, and we're going to have another stoppage as we look at the shot clock issue.
Wonder if it's a lingering effect from the brief power outage.
We're just getting all the stops in today, Gary.
Well, you know, we don't want to see 2022 go by too fast, so let's, you know.
Just trying to prolong this game.
String this game out.
I said last game of 2022, we may be at the first game of 2023 by the time we roll this game over.
I think the Bulldogs are planning to be back at home to celebrate New Year.
We're at this rate, we're all going to celebrate it right here in Gersten.
Let's see if the clock is operational now.
Ball's inbound.
And there it goes.
There it goes. Ooh, quick hesitate. The hit stopped for a second. I wasn't too sure. Samuel in the key. A pull-up 2. No good. Rebound by Maxwell.
Oh, sprinting down the court is Little, but they didn't see her.
Kaylin looking to work in Ejim. A good deflection by Oliver.
Good position by Oliver. Sort of half fronting, was able to get her long right arm in to deflect that.
That's going to get Williams and Hollingsworth back in probably quicker than otherwise would have been in if we didn't have that stoppage. Layla Curry also enters the game for the first time today for Samuel. So Lions going small here right now.
Yeah,
Johnson, Curry, and Rodriguez. Gordon and Oliver with some height, but other than that, Lions outdone on the height and being outdone by Ejim.
Thing is, even if they're not going small, since almost every player on Bulldogs is 6 feet or taller, it's almost going to seem like they're going small no matter what.
24-9, the Gonzaga Bulldogs in complete control here early. Hesitation, pull up 2 from Gordon is short, didn't get her normal elevation. Kaylin Trong battles through Lions all the way down to the other end. Ejim looked at a 3.
She thought about it.
She did.
Long thought.
Three-pointing is not her specialty, but it is Maxwell's.
But did you see how fast she released it? That's like a Steph Curry release.
Catch and shoot 53, nearly 54% on the season from downtown. The transfer out of Utah has made a three in every single game this season.
Brendan, they're shooting 83% from the field and from the three-point line right now. It's ridiculous.
13-0 run in the last 2 minutes for the Bulldogs as Johnson ends that run.
Thank goodness. They needed a bucket right there.
27-11.
Good defense by Rodriguez.
Hollingsworth, lob over to Ejim, up and in, and that's the same problem we saw last game. The Lions do not want to allow the opposing player to get in front of them, so they front them, but instead it just opens up the opportunity for the lob.
Yeah, and it's hard because you would want weak side defense to come and help, but if you do, you're leaving three-point shooters. Pick your poison.
Pass down low to Oliver, mishandled, kept alive though. Looking for an opportunity. Hollingsworth all over her. That ball's no good.
That time Oliver's behind.
Ejim, fadeaway two is good. And
right.
What can you do?
That doesn't matter. I mean, they're playing extraordinarily well. I mean, the level of basketball for the Bulldogs right now is extraordinary.
31-11, just over 2 minutes to go in this first quarter. Number 19 team in the nation proving why. Another timeout called by Coach Hughes and the Lions. 30-second timeout. Keep it here on the floor. Gary.
Watch this replay right here. Look at that quick shot. Man, that's a nice three.
Beautiful release. And now, not only is Maxwell killing it from downtown, she's also leading the nation with the best free throw percentage. And not just, I shot one free throw. No, she's shooting 97.8%. And that's not a number you get from 1 or 2 free throws.
No, but let's back up because you're right. She's also shooting almost 54% from three. I don't know that I've really seen a stat like this where a team that shot 6 threes has made 5 while shooting 12 for 14 from the field. I mean, they're really putting on a show right now.
Absolutely. This Gonzaga program has been prolific over the last years, and especially in the Lisa Fortier era. She's the only coach in program history with 7 20-win seasons in her first 8 years. And last year was the first year the program saw themselves ranked in every single week of the season.
And now they're trapping way out beyond the three-point line.
That's going to disrupt Rodriguez down low. Maxwell comes up with it, and the Bulldogs push the pace the other way. A good almost takeaway by Layla Curry, going to be called for the foul.
You know, sometimes when we watch Layla Curry, she reminds me of like a football defensive back, right? She sees the pass coming and is able to get in there. Unfortunately, she got called for pass interference on that play.
College football playoffs going on right now.
A little football in the brain.
Appreciate y'all joining us. Who needs TCU in Michigan? You got Bulldogs and the Lions.
Well, the Bulldogs are telling everyone there's something to see.
Williams in particular,
Williams
nearing double digits.
She's perfect today. 4 for 4. 4 for 5.
Yeah, we're close. Rodriguez shot sky high off the back iron. Rebound taken away by Clark. Adams fires away.
That's her shot. She just hasn't gotten a lot of looks this season so far.
Loose ball floats around and goes back to Zag's way. Subs for your Lions, Cassie Gordon, Alexis Mark coming on in. Nicole Rodriguez, Layla Curry take a seat.
So, Brendan, the Bulldogs on a 19-2 run in the last 4 minutes, 28 seconds.
6-0 run in the last 2 minutes, 7 of their last 7, and the Lions in a scoring drought of over 2 minutes and ticking. So combine all those things together, and that's how you get a 22-point deficit for your home squad.
Good steal by Mark.
Mark pushing the pace the other way, 1-on-2. Goes from way outside, and that's going to be a travel. She picked up her dribble almost at the WCC logo. Seemed like got a little ahead of herself.
Yeah, I think it was good hustle back by the Bulldogs, able to disrupt Mark, prevent the layup.
Peyton Muma into the game for the Gonzaga Bulldogs. The redshirt freshman out of Highlands Ranch, Colorado, swings it over to Maxwell. Maxwell, a miss from three.
But that's not something you're going to see much of.
No, Lions a sigh of relief as Brenner was perfect leading into that shot.
I would have liked to see Cassie Gordon take that.
Aspen Adams instead down low off the glass and in.
Good play. Good work after what I thought was a difficult three for Mark. She dishes instead to the cutting Adams.
Williams, the cross-court swing. Maxwell had a chance at catch and shoot. Instead, they'll run some time off, working into Hollingsworth. Williams, time running down. Muma's going to have to get a shot off. She does, and gets it to go.
Of course.
Everything is going right for this Gonzaga Bulldogs team as they get that one to go home. 35-13 here. It's all Gonzaga Bulldogs early on.
Look at that play. Mark wisely doesn't take the three, and look at Adams wide open.
And they'll send us to the break. We'll be back in just a moment. So I want to bring you back with some women's basketball, but first, before we get there, for those of you that are graciously tuning in to watch us.
Spoiler alert? Are you going to spoiler alert?
Yeah.
In case someone wants to tune it out?
No one's, okay, spoiler alert for the college football playoff in case anyone's recording the game. Who does that nowadays? TCU leading 21-3 with just over a minute to go in the second quarter. That's something we didn't see coming.
No, and you know what? I didn't see this coming either. 35-13 lead after the first quarter. Gonzaga just putting it on the Lions right now. Lions need to just flush that first quarter, start fresh here.
Johnson fires a two, rattles around, and into the hands of Hollingsworth.
Clark should be careful. You don't want to pick up a foul 90 feet away from the bucket.
Strong works inside, fires to Williams, who fires a three. That's short, one of her few misses today. It's followed up with a second chance opportunity, also no good, and here come the Lions.
Lions were lucky that that second chance opportunity didn't result in points.
22-point lead here for the Bulldogs as we near the end of 2022. Certainly the Lions want to see one of those things change. Gordon won't be able to do it on that possession. Hollingsworth a three. It's good.
They're good. I mean, they're just good from the three-point line. Overall, as a team, shooting over 40%. Everyone out there is capable of making them.
Mark can't get the shot to go. Ejim pulls the board. No fouls called.
Lucky there was no foul call.
Lisa Fortier certainly wanted one. Esther Little called for a charge, and Lisa Fortier is hot.
Well, she's up by 25, so she should not get too hot. Yeah, Gordon had good position, so that was a good call. I can't comment on what happened on the other side. So if you're the Lions, I think right now you don't focus on the score. Just focus on running your offense, playing good defense. Just work on things, chip away. Don't worry about each individual play looking up the scoreboard.
Adams throws that pass away, playing against her hometown team, or pretty much the closest college to her, from Colbert, Washington, just outside of Spokane. Another charge, or maybe it's going to be a foul. Nope, it'll be a charge. That's going to go against Yvonne Ejim. Gary, I'll tell you what's remarkable. One of our first games that we did together was 4 years ago here against the Gonzaga Bulldogs. Yvonne Ejim was one of the bench players for this squad. Kaylin Trong came off the bench, played limited minutes, and now they're here leading this squad. It's pretty remarkable to see the growth that those players have had in this program over the last 3 years.
Yeah, and I think part of it is really a testimony to coach's system, right? You have players that come up in the system, and when their time is called, they're ready to play.
Well, you think about 3 years ago, the Worth twins were here. You had Jill Townsend, Jill Barter just before that. Williams steps inside, can't get the shot to go, and the Bulldogs have gone a little bit cold here.
That sustained excellence is a function of good recruiting, but also very good coaching.
Oh, and you look at the men's program in Gonzaga, too, a fantastic run that they've had over the years. This women's program following right behind.
And
Two
it really,
straight WCC championships.
yeah,
too.
it says a lot because it's a small school in Washington State. It's not Stanford. It's not Tennessee, but it's a squad that just gets good players who play hard and play the right way. And they're very close to having a 30-point lead here with 6:45 left in the second quarter.
Kaylin Chong's been a big part of that. Bum we can't see Kaylee Chong out there. For my sake in trying to call this game, I appreciate one of them being on the court at a time.
Yeah, that does give you a little bit of a benefit.
I remember when we had the Worth twins and the Trong twins. It was just an absolute disaster for me.
I wouldn't call it disaster, just an extra challenge.
Challenge. That's what, as the ball being thrown back in goes right into our statistician. Take a look at Lisa Fortier. I mean, what an incredible coach that has been a part of the program for many years. But it's also remarkable to see a coach in a program like this keep her staff for all 9 years. Obviously, she's got some incredible assistant coaches. And for them to stick by her side through all this time and continue to build this program up is quite remarkable.
Yeah, it says a lot about her, the program she's built. I'm just really completely impressed with what I'm seeing.
Okay, so we've had a power outage today, right? We had a shot clock not go off, and maybe for the first time in history, we had the glasses of the stat broadcast statistician break when a fan was throwing the ball back in. So that's what that pause was for. If you're keeping it on your bingo cards, folks.
I didn't have statistician's glasses broken by fan throwing basketball in my bingo card.
I did. Had that on there for a few years. Been waiting for that one. All right, so back to action. 41-13, 6:17 to go in this second quarter. And the Lions just, I think, looking to escape this first half down by less than, should we say, 25?
Yeah, like I said, I think at this point you're really not focused on the score.
It's 31 now, 44-13. Kaylin Trong automatic, and they just seem to be playing with absolutely no fear and no problems.
Well, their shots are pure, and remember, Kaylin Trong is coming off a 6 3-point game against Pepperdine, so she's got a good stroke from out there.
Oliver finds a hole but can't finish. Trong again, and Trong again.
So you were talking about what we've seen over the years. She didn't have that shot 3 years ago.
Curry, a spin move in the key. The shots just are not falling for the Lions.
No. And on the other side, they're not just falling, they're nothing but net falling.
Yeah. Rodriguez able to come up with the steal, but immediately throws it away to Trong.
Oh,
Trong behind the back. Ejim off the glass and in. Too easy.
So this is a tough pill for the Lions to swallow, but I'd like to just see how they respond by continuing to play hard despite the score.
49-13. The Bulldogs are absolutely laying it on here.
Well, and the Lions have gotten good looks. They just can't get a shot to go down.
Rodriguez, another opportunity, and that time she converts.
So Rodriguez now the leading scorer for the Lions with 6 points, I believe.
She is 3 of 5 from the field. And like you said, the Lions really aren't shooting that poorly. 33%, near their season average. Obviously, they'd like that to be higher, but it's not like they're shooting absolutely abysmal.
No, but it was the beginning of the second where they just couldn't buy a bucket till Rodriguez knocked it down.
Burton the lob to Ejim again, too easy. We saw the same thing with Portland. They're just working it on the blocks of the Lions.
And Ejim has a big advantage over Rodriguez height-wise, so that made it difficult for Rodriguez to stop the throw in and then to contest the shot.
Timeout on the floor. We'll step aside. Kaylin Trong. Oh, what a pass to Ejim. More of that coming up next. And welcome back to Gerson Pavilion. 51-15. The Gonzaga Bulldogs are owning Gerson Pavilion today.
Yeah, I mean, the first quarter was rough, but the second quarter, they're outscoring 16-2 right now.
Outscored 35-13 in the first, 16-2 here in the second, and Lions looking to just escape this half.
Rodriguez has been a shining light for the Lions right now with 8 points, 4 for 6 shooting.
Sometimes you know what we're talking about.
Yeah, we did have her as a player to watch.
Trong, the other, with 12 points, 4 of 4 from the field, 4 of 4 from 3.
Wide open Williams, thought twice about the 3.
Drives inside instead, pull up 2, no good. Mark streaks in for the board and gets it. It's Rodriguez again, knocks it down.
So Nicole Rodriguez has accounted for 11 of the 20 points the Lions have.
Talk about a growth. We've talked about it with the Zags. Nicole Rodriguez has seen some significant growth just in this year alone.
Yeah, and her shooting. Ooh. Nice, not only a nice block by Clark, but she recovers it. Going the other way.
And this is nice to see. The Lions aren't just totally conceding right now. There's still a whole other half of basketball left. They're playing with some passion and some heart still, down 31.
Yeah, and Coach Hughes was fired up in that timeout. This is what you want to see. Don't worry about the score. Just play basketball.
Rodriguez dumps to Clark, a pull-up 2, rims out.
Again, other than Rodriguez, really no one for the Lions can score today. You got Alexis Mark with the bucket. All the other points are few and far between.
Muma running the offense now. It's Burton. Lob pass over to Hollingsworth. Inside, off the glass, and too easy.
Again, Rodriguez giving up, what, 6 inches?
Hollingsworth comes in at 6'3", Nicole Rodriguez 5'9".
My math's not great. I think that's 6 inches.
It is 6 inches. I'm impressed.
It's good to see Ava Toon get some time out on the floor.
Clark swing pass cross court to Rodriguez. It's Mark now. Her pull-up J. Off back iron.
Recently, Alexis Mark has just been off, right? I mean, she's a very strong player, just not been shooting well. And a streaking Williams for a layup. Lions just didn't get back in time.
Williams, the hometown kid, going off today. 11 points, 5 of 10 from the field. It's Curry inside, and it's good.
Really nice find by Mark, right?
Timeout's been called. Gonzaga will keep it right here on the floor. 55-22. And the Lions have done better since that last timeout, it seems.
Yeah, and that last timeout, Coach Hughes was pretty fired up. And then you made the comment that I think was a really astute observation. The Lions were continuing to play hard. They didn't give up. And I want to give a lot of credit to our Lion player to watch, Nicole Rodriguez. She's been shooting well, 5 for 7. See if we'll get a look at her perhaps. There she has the ball. Driving in for a layup. And, you know, again, as I said earlier, don't focus on the score. Focus on playing your game. There was Rodriguez with that smooth 3. So she has been the shining star for the Lions, but what you want to see over this last minute 24 is just hard play, effort, right? Effort, energy. Don't worry about the score. Don't worry about the outcome of the game. Build for games coming up.
Well, if you think about it, they're going to have some fantastic film to look at here against a really tough team. The rest of the WCC is not at the level of Gonzaga, and so it's going to be great for them as they build upon that for the rest of the season.
Yeah, and I also think they want to look at how the Zags are playing as a way for them to play in the future.
Ooh. Get a player like Maxwell is what you could do.
Where did Maxwell come from?
Utah, Gary, Utah,
All
which
right.
explains Utah, fantastic program last year.
The grad transfer from Utah, her three-point shooting has been spectacular. As has the team as a whole. They're shooting 76.9%.
10 of 13 from downtown, 23 of 32 from the field as a whole.
Lions doing a good job passing it around, but shot was short by Gordon.
Lions just kind of forcing shots up at the moment. Looking to answer what the Zags have put up on the board, 58-22.
Oh, no.
It's Ejim, too easy.
I said, oh no, because the Lions went to double team and that left Ejim wide open underneath. Play for the last shot.
38-point lead. The Lions will look to close that headed into the half. Samuel dumped to Clark. It's Gordon. Tries again, and this time hits.
That's a good way to end the quarter for the Lions.
So the half will end. Lions down 35. We'll speak with Coach Hughes in just a moment. You're watching LMU women's basketball. LMU men's and women's basketball season tickets are on sale now. Come join the Pride on the Bluff and get yours today at lmulions.com/tickets. Lots of exciting games coming up. Conference play is about to get underway for the men, and it's already cooking for the ladies. We'll see you in just a little bit. Get those season tickets online, lmulions.com/tickets. Coach, a tough first half for you guys. The Zags are playing out of their minds right now. How can you control them in the second half?
We have to understand that no game is won or lost in one quarter or two. This team has shown, LMU has shown that we can come back in the second half, but it's going to be a defensive focus. Right now we're late to switches. We're not really understanding the coverages. 14, she's killing us from the three-point line. It's easy. Berta Maxwell's already hit 3 threes or 4. So for us, it's a scouting report and understanding how hard we have to start the third quarter.
Thank you, Coach. We'll see you in a second.
Thanks.
Heard it from Coach Hughes. We'll step aside. More basketball coming up next. Welcome back to the half. Lions trail 60-25. Let's take a look at their upcoming schedule. It's a bit of a road trip headed up to the Bay Area once again. St. Mary's and Pacific. Catch those games on the WCC network. Then it's back home for BYU in San Diego, and it's a brand new BYU team, a team that the Lions can match up with. San Diego, same old San Diego, but that's a tough matchup as always for the Lions.
Yeah, this road trip is going to be important for the Lions because they're coming off a tough loss against Portland, and so far in this game, a really tough outing against the Bulldogs. That's going to be a chance for them to reset, get together as a team, come back, and hopefully this new BYU team have an opportunity to get a win, which they haven't had in a while.
We'll see more coming up next. We'll step aside. We'll see you back here in just a few minutes. Welcome back inside Gerson Pavilion. A tough score right now. Well, those are a little bit flipped, but certainly it would be nice to see that. But Gonzaga is leading 60-25.
Yeah. If this were the actual score, it would be an ESPN issue. It would have it on ESPN.
Let's take a look at our first half recap, courtesy of Ticket Smarter, and it's been all Bulldogs.
Yeah, there are very few highlights for the Lions. Look at just the effective passing. Three-point shooting has been masterful, almost 80%. There's Trong with the quick release. Look at that. Beautiful shot. She hit like 2 or 3 in a row.
It may just be me. And as we see one of the good plays from the Lions, Aspen Adams slipped in wide open on the back door. But the shots that are falling for the Zags are just clean every time.
Yeah, it's like the net barely moves, and Trong seemed to surprise herself. Watch this behind the back pass.
Boop.
And Ejim has been outstanding. I think she's 7 for 8.
We'll step aside one more time. We'll leave you with a Nicole Rodriguez 3. More action coming up next. Welcome back inside Gerson Pavilion. Take a look at some halftime stats here. Lions on the shooting end really have not been shooting bad, but you heard Coach talk about it. The defense is what's key here, and they've allowed the Zags to shoot 73% from the field and 77 from downtown.
Yeah, I mean, allowed is a bit of a loaded word. I think they've been playing decent defense, but the offense has just been so much better. They have to step up their defensive game, but if Gonzaga's not going to miss, there's really not much you can do. They've had some contested shots go in. The assist is ridiculous, as you just could, point it out to me. 18 assists for the Bulldogs to 4 for the Lions.
Turnovers, Lions have kept it under control is one of the keys. 7-4, not a lot of opportunity to turn the ball over really in this first half.
No, but look at the scoring for the Lions has come all from Rodriguez, basically with 11, Johnson with 4. Part of that assist differential is just the Zags have 60 points. So they're getting a lot of assists, but they're just scoring from everywhere on the floor. If I were the Lions right now, my focus would be to try and play this team even. From here on out. Don't worry about making up a 35-point deficit. That's not the goal. But to show what you're capable of, measure up against the best team in the conference as far as I can tell by a long shot.
Absolutely.
And work on things that you can bring to bear against St. Mary's in the next game.
We've talked about it today, but I'll say it again. It's really remarkable watching this Gonzaga team play at the level they're playing at, really with 9 active players.
Yeah, 9 active players, and a few of those 9 are really not getting any time. There's a 3.
Kaylin opens things up, and I mean, it's just automatic.
But she's so smooth. I mean, I don't remember her shooting like that in the prior seasons.
Whistle blown, foul called on the Zags.
And it's partially like a confidence thing, right? She was just stepping up like, I'm going to nail this. There's nothing you can do about it. What does she have, 4 threes so far? She's 4 for 4 from 3.
Actually, I think it may be 5 for 5. Another whistle blown. That's a block. That's going to be on LMU.
Was that a foul on Kari Clark?
It's going to be on Alexis Smart.
Oh, okay.
Second personal.
I was going to say, I didn't see what Kari had done.
Speaking of Kari Clark and Kaylin Trong, friends from back in Houston, Texas, Kari came to LMU from Denver as Maxwell fires a 3. That one's off the mark. Thank goodness for the Lions.
Good hustle by Mark to get the rebound.
But Clark and the Trong twins, friends from their time back in Houston, Texas, so you may see a little pleasantries exchanged out there on the floor. All fun and games. They're good friends.
Oh, great dish.
Good move by Rodriguez and a good finish by Clark.
Rodriguez, has been shooting well, so I think the Bulldogs assumed she was going to shoot that one. Oh, don't leave her open.
That ball's tipped away by Johnson. Here comes Rodriguez the other way. Rodriguez a pull-up 2. Bounces around, finds the hands of Hollingsworth. Brenna Maxwell tipped away by Clark. Here come the Lions.
Great lead pass by Rodriguez.
Mark stopped. Jump ball is called. It'll stay Lion ball.
Trong with the quick hands tying up Mark. So what you've seen here in the beginning of this quarter is a lot more defensive energy by the Lions, creating turnovers that we really didn't see in the first.
And a quick correction, actually, that last foul was given to Johnson. So 1 team foul in the quarter for each squad.
Alexis Mark fighting against 2 Bulldogs but can't get the rebound.
Strong. Now Ejim over to Little.
Uh-oh. Strong's open.
Oh, she looked at the 3 and just hesitated half second too long. It's Hollingsworth driving down, dump off to Ejim. That shot short.
Rare miss for Ejim, right? She was 7 for 8 before that one. Now she's 7 for 9.
63-27, 8 minutes to go. And if you're just joining us now, you're probably wondering, how are we not at the end of the game? Well, it's because the Zags have put up some numbers in the first half. 60 through the first 20 minutes. Rodriguez down low, blocked by Little.
She kind of forced that against a much taller Esther Little.
Yeah, Little not so little, 6'2". That ball's kicked by Johnson. It'll stay Gonzaga ball.
So although the Lions have not been able to do anything on the scoreboard, they are playing a more aggressive defense. Uh-oh, lob to Ejim.
She'll work off the glass, no good. Ball's tipped around into the hands of Rodriguez.
Kari Clark may have gotten poked in the eyes. See how she's doing.
Gordon looks to drive inside, dump off to Mark. She'll fire a 3. Cannot get it to go. Good rebound by Clark.
Oh, great way to find Nicole Rodriguez.
She can't knock it down. Here comes Alexis Mark. Third chance here. Shot up and is going to be called for the foul.
Let's give some credit to Mark. She is not having a very good game from the standpoint of points scored, but she's been hustling like nobody's business out there. Look at her right here, going to secure this rebound. She came flying in.
It's going to be the second team foul on the Zags.
So give Mark a chance to get some points here from the line.
Mark on the season has been shooting significantly better from the line, 75% as she misses that one, so I'm going to bite the bullet for that. Apologies. Just trying to give you some stats here, folks. Promise. Can't hit the second either, so that one's on me. 63-27, 7:10 to go.
Oh,
she gets the rebound
fake.
back up, and she'll have another chance, and I will be quiet for the next 30 seconds.
All right, well, so let's just talk about what happened there. Basically, Alexis Marks stripped the ball from Esther Little and then went up and got fouled by Little. Watch that. There's the strip, the pump fake, and the foul. Great play by Alexis Marks. For her to only have 2 points, given how much she's hustled, is really unfortunate.
First is good for Mark. Second one is good, so I will no longer talk during free throws is what we learned there. Alexis Mark hits the bench. Destiny Samuel out on the court. 63-29, 7:08 to go.
So all subs on the floor for the Lions.
Williams looked to take the shot, hesitated instead, right into the hands of Adams.
That was a great idea, but Destiny Samuel not open enough to get that pass from Adams.
That ball's inside to Hollingsworth. Foul's called on Toon, unintentional.
So Toon was, behind. We've talked about that. Do you front or do you play from behind? She was behind on that one. Ball into Hollingsworth. Toon with the foul. Here's the play. Accidental push at the end. Good sportsmanship. Do you recall a time seeing all 5 players on the floor coming off the bench for the Lions?
No, this is a lineup that coach has not used all season, that's for certain. Hollingsworth looks to take advantage, and won't get a bucket, but she'll head to the line. On the season, she's 78%, just adding to that #1 in the nation free throw shooting. Again, we talked about the free throw shooting in terms of the nation, but from the field, the Zags are 5th in the nation. Number 19 overall in terms of their positioning and their rank, but 5th in the nation in shooting.
So something that's interesting, given the short bench for the Bulldogs, you would think they might actually rest their starters with a 35-point lead, but no, they've got 4 starters out there.
Well, like we've said, they have a very short bench. So.
And they're pressing? They're up 35 and pressing 36?
Well, this is practice for them too, Gary.
Oh, Layla Curry got fouled, but no call.
Adams a 3.
Nice.
And she'll get it to go.
Good to see Adams get a shot down like she used to shoot. Hasn't had many go down so far this young season.
Ejim drives on Toon, gets it to go, and now a chance at a 3-point play.
Ejim's got a quick step, and it was just too much for Toon.
She's a strong player as well. Line change of subs coming in. Lion starters back on the floor. Their bench players will head on back. A good effort from them, though, in these last few minutes. Held the Zags to limited points.
Yeah, well, I like their effort. I really like the intensity on the defensive end. I think they showed that they're, more than capable when they get out there. Tough for them to be all 5 out there at the same time, but strong effort.
And it seems like Coach may roll with that the rest of the game. We'll see Ejim's free throw off the mark. Little with the board. Maxwell back in the game, as well as Burton.
Too much space for Maxwell. Get away with it.
Gotten cold in the second half, but certainly can heat up at any time. Kaylin Trong.
Good defense by Mark.
She hasn't lost her touch at all. Lions will look to prevent that shot getting off. Ejim will get hers off, though. Too much. Burton, the offensive board, can't get it to go. Batted around. Fouls on the floor. It's going to be on Cassie Gordon.
Seems like we've been on the Bulldogs offensive end forever because of their second chance opportunities. Why? No boxing out. One of our keys to the game. They're not doing it right now.
And they're going to head to the line.
Where they
in the
are
bonus now.
Prolific. Now they're in the bonus. I misread the scoreboard earlier.
Burton good on the first. Destiny Burton shooting 55% from the line this season. One of the few Zags that have actually struggled from the charity stripe.
But she didn't struggle that time.
Not on that one.
That's the theme for this whole game, right? Everything going the right way for the Bulldogs. Still shooting over 70%. Shooting better from three than from the field.
Gordon inside, a pull up two is good, and that's Cassie Gordon's shot.
Yeah, that floater from around the free throw line. She's got to stick out on Maxwell. Can't let her get free for a three. Same with Trong.
That ball's taken away by Johnson.
Johnson will take it all the way. No, dish to Mark. Good
Up and
under.
in. .33 lead now for the Zags. 69-36, 4:32 to go in this third quarter. Ejim to the cup, disrupted by the Lions.
And Mark's streaking in for another rebound.
Outlet pass by Johnson sends Trong right into the front row here in Gershon. Rodriguez fires away. That's off the rim and out of bounds.
That was her shot. She normally drops those.
That's going to bring us to the media timeout. 69-36, 4:13 to go. Lions scrapping back into this one just a little bit. All right, 69-36 here, 4:13 to go in this third quarter. Gary, the Lions have looked a bit better coming out of the half. What's changed?
Well, they've been, I guess, more aggressive on defense. They've been able to create a few turnovers, which there were few of in the first half. And the Zags are not shooting quite as well, but I say that and I look at the scoreboard and they're still shooting over 70%. So it's tough, but they basically matched them up this half.
Kaylin fires away and good. Well, I mean,
that's 5 for 5 from the three-point line for Trump.
I'm going to stop saying fires and I'm just going to say hits when she releases it. I mean, it's a beautiful shot.
Yeah, and it's quick. She didn't have a lot of space, and she just knocks them down. Her confidence is really high. You can see why she was able to hit 6 against Pepperdine on Thursday.
On her way to that now. There's a three off the mark by Gordon right into the hands of Maxwell.
So this is why it's tough, because you got to guard them at the three-point line, but then that opens up the inside for their strong post players.
Miscommunication between Trong and Little to turnover. It'll bring Hollingsworth back in the game. Gordon looking to drive. She gets a shot up, no good.
No foul? No foul.
Little on the fast break, can't get the bucket to fall.
Lions pushing the pace. Don't have numbers. Rodriguez for a three. Nails it. Nails it. Rodriguez is the high scorer for the Lions now with, I think she's probably about 14, 15.
Gary's got some play-by-play skills over here as Maxwell puts home a two.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to. I just got excited.
I find it entertaining. 74-39. Lob pass from Mark into Clark, back out to Gordon, tipped away. It's a track race for the ball. Lions get it back. Mark a wide open three. Cannot get it to go.
So Trong just can't hit from anywhere inside of three, apparently.
She doesn't need to. Gordon left wide open. She'll fire away. Maybe we do need you. When it seems like every time that they shoot a three and Gary calls it, they make it.
No, I've stepped out of my lane. I'm going to step right back into my lane and stay there. My bad.
That's not what we're saying.
We've got the hockey line subs coming in again. Ooh, that was a pretty hard foul by Clark.
So Zach's still in the bonus. That'll send him to the line.
Am I right, Bren, that up until that free throw, they were 14 to 14 in this quarter? Even scoring by the teams?
Yes, you're right.
Oh, no. No. I think the Lions fell asleep. Maxwell comes in from the side, gets the rebound, the hoop and the harm.
Absolutely what happened there, and it sends Maxwell back to the line. And she'll convert the three-point play. So it was 14 to 14 in this quarter. That has blossomed very quickly. Lob pass inside off our camera operator's head. That is the second game in a row that someone has thrown a ball off our baseline camera operator down there and knocked his headset off.
Well, and we've got a statistician getting hit by the ball. It's tough to be a member of the crew today.
Fill your bingo cards up. We're going to put a helmet on it. Coming for us next. Everybody looks okay down there, I think. Samuel, turnaround two, no good. That ball's going to be bounced out of bounds. Yeah, good lord. Broken glasses, maybe a broken headset. Got anything to be broken? You got a headset on, some glasses, both? Oh, quit sitting on the baseline. Shout out to our entire crew here on New Year's Eve, putting on this show for y'all. Missing out on family time, football time, other women's basketball time. Lots of stuff going on today, but they're here for you guys. Toon shot cannot go.
I think she was rushed a little bit on that shot. It was off, and the Lions back on defense.
78-39, under a minute to go.
Sorry, Curry and Muma have been going at it a little bit.
Hollingsworth from the elbow, no good. Ejim, body's off
How
guard.
did she get that rebound?
Muma had a three. She'll take this one.
Oh!
It's pretty.
Wow, and Curry made a good run at her, and she just still drained it. They're shooting... I can't tell if the scoreboard is right, but I bet they're still shooting the 70s from the three-point line.
That is not correct. Rem Smith with live stats. And
Nice
here's
shot.
Ava Toon answers with a two of her own. 81-41. Zags up by 40. No whistle blown. Muma unable to get the shot off. That's going to send us to the break. Ava Toon knocks it down from the top. Take a look at our key moment in today's game, brought to you by University Credit Union. And one of the few bright spots has been the hometown girl, Aspen Adams. She's working on the passing end. She's gotten a backdoor cut, had a wide open three, and it's good to see her back in action here in Gersten.
Yeah, absolutely, and that was a great move by her cutting without the ball, but there haven't been enough of those moments for the Lions today.
That was our key moment in today's game, brought to you by University Credit Union. 81-41, 10 minutes to go, and Gary, you said it. It was 14-14 at one point during this quarter. That quarter ended 21-16.
Yeah,
Zags with the favor.
and I think it was when Maxwell snuck in to get that rebound on the free and won that accounted for the difference.
That's certainly a key moment on the other side, unfortunately. Williams, the lob pass into Burton, blocks called on Johnson.
I think that might be 3 on Johnson.
That is 3 on Johnson, the only player in foul trouble, period.
Oh,
Ejim, too strong.
she was like the third option on the way the play was set up, and it was just too easy.
Whistle blown, foul called on Maxwell, frustrated with the call.
Yeah, she kind of went through Gordon's body, though. That was a good call. I don't know if I've seen a game where an opposing team got to 100. Have we called a game where an opposing team got to 100?
Couldn't tell you.
All right, well, the Lions are going to have to play some defense to keep the Zags team from getting another 17 points to get to 100. But considering they had 60 at the end of the first half, it wouldn't be that surprising if they were able to get there.
Well, 35-point first quarter really did it. Gordon looks to answer. Her shot short, and she's just off today.
Yeah, but Alexis Mark, again, just streaking in to try and get rebounds.
She's got 7 rebounds on the day so far. Kari Clark also with 7 rebounds according to the stats. Well, it's the leading rebounders in the game. Kari Clark and Alexis Mark with 7 apiece. Clark drives to the cup. A strong move by Clark.
Yeah, I was thinking you probably don't want to be handling the ball out that far, but she proved me wrong.
Lions given a lot of pressure outside the arc here in the fourth. Not a lot of opportunities for the 3 ball.
It makes them susceptible to good call on Trevor. It makes them susceptible to inside, but post players have been playing strong D, led by Kari Clark.
Taking a look at Lisa Fortier next to Nicole Rodriguez as they inbound the ball, and here we go. 8:43 left to go, 83-43. Lions trail by 40. And again, just playing quarter by quarter right now, and this quarter they're even, 2-2. Johnson working on the much bigger Williams. She is absolutely hounded, and that ball drops into the lap of our camera operator. Someone put a cage up over there. Yeah, workers' comp for these folks? Goodness.
Uncharacteristic, quiet game for Ari Johnson. She's only managed to get up 4 shots and hit 2 of them, but she has 3 fouls.
You have no regard for our camera operators?
No, I figured you did a good job of describing what needed to happen. Oh, that was a push-off by Rodriguez.
It's going to be a charge, and we've seen her do that a few times this season.
Just trying to get separation. A little too aggressive. The Zags finally under 70% from the 3-point line.
It only took them, 32 minutes here to reach that mark? Burton, lob over to Ejim. Good deflection by Clark, not allowing it in.
13 for 19 from the 3-point line are the Bulldogs. Lions only 4 for 15.
Strong from there, 6 for 6, another 6 3-point game.
Jeez. Her only miss came from about 15 feet.
Oh, what a tip by Ejim. Little block down low, but what a move. Lions line change substitution's going to come again. Oh, good find by Gordon, but deflected by the Zags. It's been back and forth here in the fourth. Not a lot of offense, just 2 points for each squad. Little has it tipped away. Good defense by Gordon. Absolutely hounding Little, but that's going to be a foul.
So let's give some credit to the Lions. They're shifting, 5 and 5 in substitutions, but every 5-person team out there is hustling.
Now take a look. Cassie Gordon all over Esther Little, giving no room to operate in the foul there at the end, certainly.
Because you could understand if, being down 40 points, the team were to let up and just mail it in, but they're not at all, and I give them a lot of credit for that. See if Trong continues her on-fire ways from the 3-point line.
Williams could as well. Strong jump to Little. Last thing the Lions need is for another Zag to get going from distance. So we stop there on the foul by Oliver. Nearing the bonus already, still with 7 minutes to go in this fourth quarter. Next foul is the bonus for the Zags. Jim working inside, taken away by Adams. Good defense by Curry as well.
Seeing some quicker hands on defense by the Lions, creating turnovers.
Toon from the top. Good board by Oliver. Back to Samuel for 3. No good. That ball's batted around. It'll stay line ball. Good hustle on the boards. Both teams in a scoring drought of over 2 minutes. It's been a slow fourth quarter. Toon fires a three. Can't go. Lots of opportunities for the Lions. They're blocked by Ejim on that one. Ball's going to trail out of bounds and stay Lion ball. So we spent a lot of time on the Lions, on the Zags end earlier. We're going to spend a lot of time here on the Lions end.
Yeah, and these second chance opportunities are about hustle. And for the Lions to be hustling like this down 40, I, again, want to give them a lot of credit. Coach is platooning sets of 5 players, so people coming in fresh. No reason they can't hustle.
Lob pass from Adams down to Samuel, gets it to go.
Good find by Adams.
Lions were 0 of their last 5 until that bucket. Hollingsworth inside, no good. Oliver with the board.
Samuel should hold it up and get numbers.
Turn it
Cross-court
over.
pass is tough.
It's dangerous, right through the key. Williams dumped to Hollingsworth, up and in.
That was a textbook fast break. If you want to draw it up, how to run a fast break, that was it.
85-45, 15 from that century mark for the Zags. Samuel looks to work in the post. Turnaround 2 is good. A nice shot from Samuel.
It's good to see Samuel get some run time and get some buckets. Going to need her throughout this West Coast Conference play.
Middle swings to Trong. It's Ejim now inside. Her pull-up 2 is in, of course.
Again, like you said earlier, Ejim was a role player for a number of years, but now when it's her turn, she's shining. She's 9 for 14, 22 points, leading all scorers.
Curry can't get that shot to fall. Rebound by Ejim. Whistle blown. Travel called on Ejim. Interesting. Line changes subs into the game. God bless our PA announcer over there, Daniel. Zags also makes subs, so that's about 8 subs in. Your starters back in for the Lions. Maxwell in, as well as Burton and Muma for the Zags. Williams, Hollingsworth, and Little take a seat. Johnson struggling to find the inbound. Gonna have to lob it to Clark. Whistle blown. Foul called.
I think Trong?
On Trong.
She was trying to deny Ari Johnson the inbound, getting inbound after she threw the inbound pass. I couldn't really tell.
They also assessed a technical foul to Kaylin Trong. So that's going to send the Lions to line for a free throw. Mark's first is good. Kaylin Trong and this Zags team, normally a very disciplined team, just got away from them in that moment. Second is good from Mark as well.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's too many bodies between me and the contact, so I couldn't really see what happened.
You and me both, sir. Kari Clark will inbound right in front of us. And Gordon will run the offense with just over 5 minutes to go in this contest. Mark pumps the 3. It's inside to Johnson, now working. She'll go to work, can't get it to fall. Maxwell.
Bodies all over the place.
All up on Johnson on that possession. Under 5 minutes now. Zags will slow the offense down, no reason to rush. Trong fires a 3.
Whoa.
That's the first miss from 3 we've seen from Kaylin Trong.
Don't give her space because she'll take another one.
Maxwell will take a 3 and she'll convert.
Yeah, as good as Trong is, Maxwell is just as good. In fact, I think on the season she's shooting better from the three-point line.
Maxwell 5 of 9 from downtown today. Mark tries one of her own.
The Lions' three-point shooting is not nearly as prolific as the Bulldogs.
Burton fouled down low by Rodriguez. It's going to be her second personal, team limit. So free throws the rest of the way. You called the Gary media timeout. Lions trail 90-49. 3:57 left to go in this one. We'll step aside. More action from Gerson coming up next. Gary, got any New Year's resolutions?
You know, I haven't even begun to think about them yet, but based on what has happened today, I think my New Year's resolution is to not try and do play-by-play.
I was just pointing out your newfound skill, that's it.
No, but it's something that you pointed out in a very diplomatic way.
Diplomatic, that's one of your big words.
That's a big word, yeah.
Oh, folks, we hope you're having as much fun as we are at home on this New Year's Eve. Mere hours from 2023. Where did 2022 go? That's the real question. 91-49. Where did this game go? That's an even better question.
Well, it got away from the Lions early in that first quarter when they went down by 22 and just haven't been able to get anything going.
Oh, what a pass!
Nice pass.
Aspen Adams, the one-hander, thread the needle, find Curry. And that's Curry's highest scoring game this season.
It's a great backdoor cut by Curry.
Numa fires a three. Offensive board and in for Maxwell.
So that's the kind of stuff that I think Coach will want to focus on. Not the score, but the fact that those second chance opportunities, that's the kind of thing they got to clean up, right? They're not going to be facing the Zags every time out, but they can do those things and have better opportunities against the other teams in the conference.
93-51, just over 3 minutes. Lob pass from Adams to Curry. Oliver wanted the ball. She's wide open. They don't find her, though.
So it looks like Coach is not keeping up the platooning. She's subbing Kari Clark in for Destiny Samuel. Aspen Adams cannot leave Maxwell alone. She's still dangerous from three. It's going to be a long way to recover. She has to.
Little now disrupted by Oliver. Here she goes. She's got 2 on 3. She's going to slow it up to get some numbers or take a shot herself.
Again, the shooting percentage for the Lions is not great. 36%, 35 now with that shot.
Williams from downtown rattles around. If that was at the beginning of the game, that was a surefire make.
Yeah, well, the Zags have cooled off in their shooting. But such a big cushion they had doesn't really matter.
Ball is tossed out of bounds. Send it back the Lions' way with 2:10 to go.
Nice pass.
Clark, a chance at a long two. Rims out. Whistle blown. That's going to be a foul on Little.
Oliver is really hustling on those boards. I think that's going to be her 5th rebound. Clark drives in, spin move, but can't finish.
Gianna Riley into the game, the 5'8" freshman out of Manteca, California. Wearing number 2 for the Bulldogs.
Oh, nice move.
Riley can't get it to go, and the Zags were excited for it.
That's hard. You come into the game, for the first time with a minute left in the whole game, and you immediately make a nice drive to the bucket. She got to spend a lot of time guarding Kaylin Trong during practice.
Absolutely. Can you imagine the reps that you must have if you're on the practice squad against a squad like this? I mean, we talk about the growth that Ejim and Trong have had. Well, they were playing defense and trying to play offense against players like Chenworth, against Jill Townsend, Jill Barta.
It's good training.
Sierra Walker. I mean, the list can go on. The players that have come out of Gonzaga are truly, it's really special to see that alumni list that they have going and the players that have come through this program. Hasn't always been good for us to watch as a Lion faithful, but has been some incredible basketball to see come through Gershon Pavilion for certain.
Trong is 6 for 7 from 3, and Maxwell's 5 for 9. That's some good shooting.
And I'm not sure you'd even necessarily classify the Zags as a strictly three-point shooting team either. That's what's remarkable. 1 minute to go here. Toon fires a three, too long, right into the hands of Clark. Called a pass. Clark can't get it to go. Whistle blown. Foul's going to be on Maxwell. Third personal, fourth team foul.
I think Toon's trying to get herself going. A couple of her shots seemed like they were rushed.
Samuel will try her luck at a three. That's too long. Toon tried to save it as well. Unable to do so. Send it back the Zags' way, and 38 seconds to go. And I think it's safe to say this one is done and dusted.
Oh, it's been like that for a while. We just haven't called it. Yeah, certainly. But you know what? I'm impressed with the hustle that I've seen by the Lions in the second half.
And this quarter, 14-10. If this was how the first half was played, Gary, right now the Zags have outscored the Lions only by 9 in the second half.
Yeah, and they've played their bench a lot more, but their shooting cooled off. I mean, they're still shooting very well, but they're now down under 60 from the field and just about 61 from the three-point line, whereas those were in the high 70s in the first half. And some of that is a credit to a more aggressive defense, and some of it is just more natural basketball playing. I mean, the way they played in the first half was pretty ridiculous.
Lions have struggled in the shooting end as well. One of their last 10 over their last 6, scoring drought of 319. Samuel sprints down the court, pretty much out of control, and again takes out our camera operator.
Yeah, you want a cage.
I want a cage. I want some pads. I want something to take care of our man over there.
Yeah. He's been
taking a beating.
He's been fighting through it.
Was that a charge?
I think that would have been a flagrant on the camera operator.
On the camera operator?
No, I mean a foul committed against him.
Let me talk to our ref observer here as this game comes to a close. 96-51. Take a look at the shot. Kept the shot. That's a real camera operator over there. Shout out to our entire team. Man, Willie in the control room pulling those shots. Fantastic work. So this one comes to a close. We are still going to talk to Nicole Rodriguez when we come back. We'll see you in just a moment. And welcome back in Gershon Pavilion. Lions fall 96-51, joined by Nicole Rodriguez now. And Nick, this was a really tough game to end out 2022, but a lot of things you guys can learn from. What can you bring from this game into the rest of conference play that you guys have?
Yeah, I mean, they're a good team, but I think we did well staying aggressive. Just not giving up, not letting up. If you're going to play us, then you got to know that you're going to, face like a really physical team. So
you guys had a better defensive effort in the second half. That was something that Coach in her halftime interview said you guys wanted to focus on. From your perspective, how did you see that working in the second?
Can you repeat the question?
In the second half, your defensive effort seemed to be a lot stronger, something Coach wanted to focus on. From your perspective, what did you see change in the second that led to that?
Yeah, I think we just, like I said, we stayed aggressive. We kind of switched defenses to stay in our zone, so that way we could kind of pack the paint a little bit more. They're good shooters, so, it's kind of tough.
You're one of the leaders on this squad, certainly one of the vocal leaders as well, both on and off the court. What's the conversation like with your squad after a day like this?
We just got to stay positive, a lot of conference play left, so, it's only up from here.
Appreciate it, Nick. Happy New Year. Get some rest. We'll see you on the road up at St. Mary's, all right?
Thank you. Happy New Year.
That was Nicole Rodriguez joining us here after a tough loss from the Zags. Final score here today, 96-51. It's been a pleasure to have you along for the ride with us. Oh, power outage and all. It's been a good time, right, folks? Final stats here today. I'll take a look. Oh, we love it. When we got Willie in the control room, we're getting all the good shots. That's going to make SportsCenter right there. Absolutely. Final stats, leading scorer in the game, Yvonne Ejim, 24 points, followed up by Brianna Maxwell, 22 points. It's been a pleasure to have you along the ride with us. On behalf of our entire team, I'm Brendan Craig, saying so long from LMU. This has been a presentation of LMU Women's Basketball on the WCC Network. Happy New Year, and so long from the Bluff.